Welcome back to r/neighbors from hell, where people share stories about their crazy neighbors. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to join our amazing community. And without any further ado, let's dive right into the stories. And the first one is titled "Drunk Tow Truck Driver Almost Killed Me and Then Illegally Towed My Vehicle from My Driveway." Settle in, because this is going to be a bit of a long story, and from the title alone you know that it is going to be crazy. Jumping right into it, I was driving home one day from work and was on the highway just like every other day. From my mirrors though, I could see that someone was having a very hard time staying in their lane. I mean, this guy was just swerving, and anyone that has been a driver could tell this guy was probably drunk. To make matters worse, he was driving a company tow truck, so avoiding him was important. I drove a small car, so I knew in a fight between small car and big tow truck, I would lose. At one point he ended up in front of me, which was terrifying on its own, and I saw the name and phone number of the company. I could also see on the occasions he was in the lane next to me that he had an open beer bottle. I did the only logical thing and used my phone, which was hooked up to my car, to call the tow company and tell them that one of their drivers on the highway was drunk and being a danger. Now, looking back in hindsight, I could have done the smart thing and done nothing else from that point. The story does not end here though, so I obviously made a decision that was going to cause more issues down the metaphorical and physical road. The next time the truck was next to me, I rolled down my window and motioned for him to do the same thing. At that moment, I told him that I called his company and told them what he was doing, and of course he was not happy about it. His response was, take the bottle of beer that he had been drinking and throw it at me. It hit my car and glass smashed onto the road while I was in total shock. That is when the guy started swerving even worse, and I could tell at this point it was intentional. He wanted to ram me for telling on him, and if I was not a good driver, he might have ended up killing me. Instead though, I was able to shift my small car a little bit ahead so that he could not really get to me. I still noticed him in the rear view, because you don't want to ignore the drunk guy swerving on the road. It was not until I got off and started driving home that I realized this guy was following me. I did not want to seem paranoid, so I drove around a little bit, making odd turns now and again, with him copying my every move. So then I called the police and told them I was being followed and asked them to please meet me at my house since I felt unsafe. When I got home they were not there and I could not keep driving around, so I just pulled into my driveway and got ready for this guy to start a fight. He didn't though. He just passed me by, giving me a dirty glare, and kept going. The police said that since nothing really happened, they could not do anything, and as far as him being drunk on the highway went, they were going to try and pull some footage from the traffic cameras the news used, and that it no longer concerned me. Finally, I went to bed thinking that everything would blow over and be fine and I would not have to think about it again. Of course, if that was the case, I probably would not still be typing about what happened when I woke up, which was finding my car gone. Just gone, right out of the driveway, stolen. I of course called the police to report it, but I also looked at the cameras that I had set up outside because of people stealing packages off my porch. In that video, I saw a tow truck from the same company take my car and tow it away off of my own property. I was livid and called the company demanding that I speak to whoever is in charge and runs that place. All I got from this boss though was telling me that the report of that car was for an illegal tow and I would have to pay both a towing fee and a retrieval fee. There was no way in hell I was doing that, and ended up instead spending half a day talking to an officer on the phone and them trying to get me some kind of official form stating that it was an illegal tow and the car was my property. I had to call out and miss work, which thankfully my boss was understanding about, so I could sort the thing. Finally, I took a cab over to the tow place with my letter and told them that I had proof it was an illegal tow and to give me my car back now. The boss said that he would waive the tow fee, but I still had to pay the retrieval fee to get it back. Once again, called to the police and waiting till they got there and spoke to the guy before I finally get my car back. Now, there was no way to prove it was that exact guy who towed it, so he was going to get away with it, no problem. Still, I had my car, and you would think this story gets to end and everything is resolved. Of course not, because my work bag was left in the car, including my tablet. Whoever towed my car went into the passenger seat and took my bag. Now that there was actual theft involved, the police seemed to care and wanted to find a way to catch the guy. Luckily, my tablet had a finding feature where I could track it using my phone. We go to where the signal takes us and the police knock on a door, and guess who answers the door? If you said anyone other than the drunk driver, you have not been paying much attention. He recognizes me, and of course that is a big mistake, because now that the police can be sure that he was the one driving on the road that day, he was going to get into even more trouble. He was arrested for drunk driving and theft, as well as fined for littering on a highway. For following me home, they could have made the case for stalking, but it would have been too weak to really hold up in court. He went to jail for a year regarding the theft and unlawful use of a tow truck. I don't know if that's the right term, but since he was using the equipment that did not belong to him inappropriately. Finally, he also lost his license, so when he gets out, he probably won't be able to find another job in that industry again. All of this because he could not wait until work was over to have a beer and then decided to antagonize me to the point of stealing. I hope this man never gets to be behind the wheel of a vehicle for the rest of his life. And guys, if you have watched until here and enjoy my daily stories, I would really appreciate it if you could also post some star emojis in the comments if you want to support my channel. Thank you so much in advance, your help is very much appreciated. The next one is titled, You Park Too Close to Me. This happened many moons ago. I was shooting pool and having a couple of beers with buddies and happened to look out the window when these two university students, BF and GF I believe, parked next to my car on my driver's side in a no parking spot right in front of the pool hall front door. Yellow box with yellow lines in front of it in case of fire, I guess. It's not even the width of a regular parking spot, which is important. I don't know why they parked there since there was tons of parking available. Anywho, I thought nothing of it since from my view I could not tell how actually close they were parked to me. I thought they were just entitled pricks. It was a nice new shiny look what daddy bought me car, and these punks had brand new shiny iPhones, dressed to the nines on a Friday afternoon, etc., who assumed they had some sort of status and could flout the law. Whatever, they probably were not going to come back after this experience though. I go outside to grab smokes from my car, can barely squeeze between the two cars to open my car door. I get angry. I get my smokes from the other side of my car, light up, look at the situation and fume. A buddy, I will call him buddy number 1, comes out, sees what is up, smiles and goes to this shiny look at what daddy bought me car, folds in the shotgun mirror, goes to his truck, folds in the driver's side mirror, jumps in and parks within 6 inches next to their car, gets out the other side of his truck, comes over to me, lights a smoke with a smirk on his face. Says he does not care if they ding up his truck trying to get in their car. It is his company truck and it has plenty of dings anyways, and technically he is parked in his spot between the lines because these entitled douchebags are parked where a parking spot does not even exist. I finish my smoke, look inside, and these two guys are minding their business playing pool, staring at their shiny phones, doing what have you, and are oblivious as to what my buddy has done. I'm like, well, I feel a little revengey. So I go to the shiny car, fold in their driver's side mirror, squeeze into my car, back up, open my window, fold in my shotgun mirror and park so close that there is maybe an inch of space between our folded in mirrors. I pop open my sunroof, it is a nice sunny day anyways, may as well air out my car, jump out the shotgun sight. I take a look to make sure I am well in the lines of my space, and yep, I go stand next to Buddy with the truck, we high five and giggle with glee, now we just have to wait. The manager of the pool happens to pull in at the time Buddy and I are looking at our accomplishment, sees where these two dweebs parked, looks at me and Buddy, shakes his head and laughs. We all know each other, and if anyone else had parked in this non-parking spot, he would not care. Turns out though, these two dudes come in later at night, are rude to the staff, don't tip, etc. Buddy and I give the manager the lowdown on what happened. He says cool, since legally we are doing nothing wrong. We all go inside, hang out with our other buddies, and keep an eye on the entitled ones who still have not looked outside. Next thing we know, manager's voice booms over the stereo in the most polite way. Would the occupier of the look at what daddy bought me car that is illegally parked outside the front door please move your vehicle? We all look at these two guys who by now have paid for their pool and are just sitting in front of a big screen on their brand new iPhones killing time. The guy says something to his chick, gets up, goes out the front door. Me and my buddies, probably 6 to 7 of us who we clued in, all decide we need a breath of fresh air, a smoke, whatever, and follow him out. He is just staring at his car, not saying a word. We all banter and continue on pretending not to notice the odd parking situation as he just stares. Finally, another buddy says, "Hey buddy number 1, did you wash your truck?" As he stares pointedly, buddy number 1 says, "Yeah, the company makes me. I don't know why, it's a POS." And we all turn our heads to look at this truck while entitled people keep standing. I think he is beginning to understand what is going on here, but does not say a word. He finally goes inside, the other guys all join in on the giggling with glee, before we as well retire inside to split a couple of pictures. After a bit, manager gets back on the PA/stereo and says, not quite so politely, "If the guy in the look at what daddy bought me car does not move it, I'm going to call a tow truck and have you towed. You are parked illegally." We look at this snot and his companion, who are talking to each other in not so calm voices and not in English, so we don't really know what they are saying, but we suspect what the topic of the conversation is. So after 2 libations, we decide that we need to step outside again, have a smoke and fresh air. The 2 dingbats follow, thinking that maybe I or buddy number 1 will move our cars. Nope, another buddy pipes up. "Hey Firth, you know you left your sunroof open, right?" I say yes, I needed to air my car out a little bit. So now these 2 entitled dudes know who the drivers of these cars are, but we are obviously too far beneath them in the societal ranks for them to attempt communication with us. We all laugh and giggle with glee and completely ignore the entitled ones while they stand. Obviously, we are not moving our cars. "Hey, who wants to play some golden tea?" shouts buddy number 1. We all enthusiastically agree that 18 holes of video golf between 6 to 7 guys would surely be a valuable use of lots of time and begin to play. The entitled ones are fuming but won't speak to us because they are above us even though they are short. Manager on the PA/stereo, "Last chance to move your car before it's towed." Entitled boy flips on his girlfriend, she flips right back at him. She walks over to us and in broken English demands that either Buddy or I move our cars. We feign ignorance and I say, "I walked over here. What are you talking about?" Buddy number 1 completely ignores them and possibly tells them to do something anatomically impossible. We are a little drunk by now, another round of libations ensues, another round of golden tea. And by the way guys, if I remember correctly, golden tea is some sort of bar golf video game, if I remember correctly. Anyway, by this time it is late. We are hammered. Entitled ones know they have been pawned. They know unless their car is actually towed, it is not going anywhere. Manager never had any intentions of actually having their car towed, he just wanted to add fuel to the fire. Eventually, they get into a taxi, furious. We all laugh and giggle and high five. Buddy number 1 and I are driving nowhere, therefore the look at what daddy bought me car is staying the night. I took my time coming to get my car the next day. I was in no rush to go anywhere since I had a hell of a hangover. When I did get to the pool hall, all 3 cars were still sitting there. I spat on their windshield and crawled back into my car and giggled one more time with glee at a job well done. Totally worth it. And the next one is titled, You Screwed with the Wrong Person. Not my story. This happened to my sister-in-law. She is quite a lot younger than me and was working part-time in a chain shoe shop whilst studying. After graduating with a business degree, she was offered a job managing one of the shoe stores. This obviously seemed like a fantastic opportunity for her first role as a graduate. She was on a probationary period for 3 months, and after that her salary would increase, although the probationary period could be extended. She hated it. The owner would give her instructions, and later that day his girlfriend would come in and give her opposite instructions, then criticize her for the way she had worked and micromanage her until she did it her way. The girlfriend was not part of the business at all, but sister-in-law did not want to cause any issues, so did not argue. However, it was causing her a lot of stress. I noticed she lost quite a bit of weight. It came to a bit of a head when sister-in-law had spent a few hours sorting the filing out, then went to the shop to serve customers. When she went back to finish the filing, girlfriend had gone through it all and messed it up, saying she had organized it differently for her, wasting hours of sister-in-law's time and causing her more work. Sister-in-law suspected they were going to extend her probationary period to screw her over, even though she was doing a great job despite being sabotaged and micromanaged. Her staff loved her and sales were higher, so she started looking for another job. Surprise, they extended her probationary period, but she found a job paying more and 10 minutes from her flat away. They wanted her to work ASAP, but she was sure she had to work her notice period, which was 6 weeks. She asked me to read her contract to see if I can confirm. The notice was indeed 6 weeks, except for staff on probation. Either party could terminate with 1 week's notice. Sister-in-law tells owner she is quitting and giving 1 week's notice. Owner is caught on the hop and cannot find another manager that quickly. Tells sister-in-law her notice period is 6 weeks, to which she takes great delight in pointing out that her probationary period has been extended and the required notice is 1 week. Sister-in-law has been at the new job for quite a while now and is much happier. Edit, lots of people saying you can quit whenever you want. I should have clarified that we are in the UK. Some of you have correctly sussed that out, where contracts can be enforced. What could they do if she was contracted to a longer notice period and refused to work? It's never happened to me or anyone I know, but the internet tells me they could theoretically bill her for the cost difference to bring someone in to cover the remaining notice period, although this could be costly and unlikely. So yeah guys, I'm back with some Disney bloopers. They just have to be there at the end of the video. As you can see, she really enjoys scratching my couch, which is not okay. That's not okay, Disney, no? Obviously, no, I won't be giving her chips. That's my snack. My Disney. No. She really likes being on my couch. Oh. Oh. That's really very, very cute cat. Yeah guys, if you also have a cat, let me know what kind of cat you have, how old your cat is. Let's share some cat facts in the comments. Oh. Yeah, she really likes to scratch my couch, which I don't like so much. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video and I see you again tomorrow. And ripe stars, with this we have reached the end of the video. However, if you still cannot get enough of my content, then I would highly suggest to check out my endless binge watch playlist, which will soon show up in the left corner of the screen. In addition, I would really appreciate it if you could not only subscribe to the channel, but also turn on the bell notifications, which you can do by clicking on the little bell icon right next to the subscribe button. This will help my channel tremendously, and this will make sure that you don't miss any of my videos. Furthermore, if you want to see additional ripe content that I don't post on YouTube, then I would suggest to head on over to patreon.com/ripeyoutube for more than 50 exclusive videos that you will not see anywhere else. Thank you so much for your amazing daily support, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.